My wife and I have been friends with Cheryl for several years. Cheryl has hit a rough spot with the pandemic, so we've been helping her. This includes money, essentials like laundry pods, dishwasher pucks, food, and hand-me-down clothing from my wife. Cheryl is my wife's friend before my friend. I've never hung out with her alone. I deliver all these goods to her usually weekly as neither my wife nor Cheryl drive. I don't mind, even if it's 20 minutes out of my way each way. 3 days ago I had to use the washroom while driving over, so when I dropped off about $150 worth of stuff for her, I asked if I could run inside and use the washroom. She hesitated, gave me a concerned look, and said no. It was encroaching on emergency for me, so I asked again, and she said no, so I just left. Wasn't going to stand to talk about it when I could be on the road to Tim Hortons or whatever to use the washroom. I asked my wife when I got home to talk to her, and Cheryl said she doesn't trust me and didn't want stranger men into her home. I thought maybe her house was a mess or something, but I was reassured it was not that, and it was that Cheryl sees me as dangerous, I guess. I sent a message to Cheryl thanking her for being candid with my wife, but because of this, we'll no longer be helping her. Or at least I want no part in it. If you can't trust a person who has given you $5,000 in cash this year and maybe another $5,000 in amenities, it's a one-sided relationship. I just needed to pee. She's more than welcome to come to us, and my wife will help her, but I know this won't happen since I'm the only one who drives here. I won't budge on this, because you don't recover from I think you're a dangerous man in no way, shape, or form. Was I the idiot? My wife thinks so slightly, but since she's still welcome to help, just it takes like 100 times more effort on her part, she thinks it's fair. She's also upset, just doesn't think my solution is a solution. Not the idiot. I could understand if there was another reason, but seriously. Because you're too much of a stranger to be allowed in for a piss. I personally wouldn't go out of my way to help a stranger out like you've helped her. Too much of a stranger to pee, go to her bathroom, but not too much of a stranger to rely on for money and essentials, I guess. If I'm going out of my way to do something good for someone, I don't want to be treated like a monster. No idiots here, perhaps. I thought you were going to say she was a strict quarantiner. Her fear must have hurt your feelings a lot. I would hesitate to ever be alone around her if I were you. It sounds like she's had some type of extreme trauma. Hers was a very odd reaction. I feel badly for her, but it would be hard for me to travel each week to help an adult that thought I was untrustworthy. If it is very important to your wife, maybe you could consent to drive her over once a month to take some things. After all, your wife is the one you were trying to please and impress, right? Not the idiot. If she's willing to accept help from you and let you know where she lives and have you drive over to drop things off, she can't actually feasibly consider you a threat. If she does, then that speaks of other issues, but they're ones on her end she needs to look into working on. I mean, look at what it says from her end. Hi, I need a lot of help from people, and I'm accepting help from this married couple I know, but I consider him dangerous, so he's only allowed to come over to drop things off. I'm terrified of him as a man, but only if he's in my personal home space, otherwise I'm not scared enough to not accept the help he and his wife give me. When I, 27, was around 10, my parents divorced. It was a messy thing. No one ever told me the reason, and I do not really care. My mom won custody because she was able to prove in court that my father was an unfit parent. My father never took it well, and it showed whenever I had visitation at his house, 2 weekends a month. Instead of spending time with me, he would spend hours playing video games, order takeout, and the only time he would ever take me somewhere was when my grandma forced him. Needless to say, I never had a very close relationship with him. Then once I got older, he started to bring up a college fund he had set aside for me, and he always said that if my grades stayed up and I'd do well in school, the money would be mine, and I did just that. I got good grades, was part of many clubs in school, and never got into trouble. I was basically the kid your parents brought up when they were comparing you to your friends. In my senior year, my dad got married to his current wife. It was a beautiful and extravagant ceremony. I'm pretty sure some of the arrangements were more expensive than my phone, but whatever, I didn't think much of it. It wasn't until I went to talk to my dad about my college fund that I found out he had used it to pay for his ceremony. I was in disbelief when he said it, and the more he explained the more I wanted to cry. He didn't even apologize. He said it with all causality of, "Oh, you were looking for that thing you left in the fridge? Sorry, I ate it." When he realized that I was upset, he turned it around on me and told me that I was being selfish and that I was not entitled to his money. Luckily, got scholarship that covered my entire tuition. Also, my mom and stepdad also had a fund set aside for me. They apparently knew my dad would pull that on me, so I was able to go to college without a lot of debt. Since then I've been distant from my dad. I'll not lie, I feel conned. If the money was always his, why did he bother mentioning it to me? I don't care if he used it or not, but to promise someone something, hold it over their heads for years, and not give it to them when you should because they're not entitled to it is just a way too lengthy way to say that you're an unreliable idiot in my eyes. My dad has tried to reconcile, but he still claims that I was not entitled to that money and even says that the money was not needed because I got a scholarship. The last time he said that to me was when I was at his house visiting my new baby brother, and I got so damn annoyed that I said, "I'm not entitled to your money, but you're also not entitled to a relationship with me, so I guess we're in a stalemate here." I guess that hurt him because he got quiet until I left. I've been remembering what I said for a while, so I wonder if I was way too out of line in my statement. I was annoyed and wanted him to stop bringing it up, but I didn't want to hurt him. Not the idiot. Dad mostly ignored the OP for years during their infrequent visits, preferring to play games he could have been playing when he didn't have custody. Dad can certainly get remarried. That is not a free pass to walk away from promises he made his kid for years. OP mentioned being able to attend college without a lot of debt, which seems to indicate there was some debt. Breaking your promise and sticking your kid with debt as a result is real idiot behavior. Dad doesn't get to crap on your relationship for years and then expect to maintain a good relationship with you. Standing up for yourself at last was entirely reasonable. Your dad said he had a college fund set up for you if you did well and got good grades. You fulfilled your side of that bargain, he didn't. Instead, he decided that one day of his life was more important than your education. So he shouldn't be surprised that someone with whom he had broken his word would want a relationship with him. He proved he can't be trusted. Personally, I think you handled it quite well. You're both correct, you weren't legally entitled to his money, although he shouldn't have made that deal with you the first place, and he isn't entitled to a relationship with you. He's gaslighting you hard. He set that money aside for you, told you it was yours if you kept your grades up, then spent it on himself and had no plans of telling you or making up for it as best he could later. And now accuses you of acting entitled for believing his prior promise, keeping up your end of the bargain, and trusting he'd deliver on his. Believing that someone would keep their word isn't being entitled. It's not just the money. If he'd been poor as dirt but loved you with all he had, you two would have a relationship today. It's the lack of interest in your life, the lies, the betrayal of trust, that's why you don't have a relationship right now. Not the idiot. Backstory. When I was a kid, a family we knew had a daughter with leukemia. She had chemo, lost her hair, and got an exception to the school's no-hat policy so she could cover her head. Everyone at the school was supportive and there were a couple of fundraiser things that other parents organized for their benefit. I heard she went into remission and really didn't think much about her after I left home to go to college. Fast forward, I'm at college and living in a different city than my family. Sister had graduated high school, but I guess didn't want to go to college and still lives with my, now divorced, mom. Last Christmas I came home for a visit and was surprised to see that my sister had shaved her head. Well, not super surprised, because she likes to create drama and has done plenty of things like that before. So I just pretended like I didn't notice anything. Mom, sister and I went out for dinner one night. Sat in a booth, a little kid in the next booth poked her head over and said, "Why don't you have any hair?" Her parents immediately grabbed her, but my sister said it was okay, and then went on to explain that people who are being treated for cancer lose all of their hair because of chemo. The kid's parents apologized and offered to buy our dinner. Then the kid pipes up again, "Why do you still have eyebrows?" Meaning eyebrows. The parents apologize again and get the hell out, but not before they pay for our food. Meanwhile, mom is pretending she hasn't heard any of this. So I ask my sister if she has cancer and she starts going on about how she wants to support people with cancer. But when I point blank asked her if she herself has cancer, the answer was no. At night, she shaved off her eyebrows. Okay, she can shave off her hair if she wants, I don't care. But yesterday, I was chatting on Discord with an old friend from my hometown and he asked me how my sister was doing. I gave some snarky answer. My friend came back with, how can you be so mean when she has cancer? Apparently she has been telling people that she has cancer and asking for donations to her GoFundMe. I told him that can't be true. He sent me a link to the GoFundMe. She raised about $500 so far. I called my mom, she confirmed that my sister does not have cancer, but she does talk about it all the time. I guess my mom just ignores it somehow. I don't want people in my hometown getting scammed, so would I be the idiot if told everyone not to donate? Not the idiot. Are you kidding me? No, you are absolutely not wrong here. Your sister and mom, however. My mom died of cancer. Last year my cousin, who was in her 30s, died of breast cancer that got aggressive and metastasized. Currently, my 2-year cousin has leukemia and a friend at work has a 16-year-old who just lost her leg because of cancer, and your sister is faking it to get $500. Contact GoFundMe. They don't like it when people do this and from what I heard, take it seriously. Let people know in your town. Post in the GoFundMe page. Let people know. This is wrong. And your sister can go screw herself. Not the idiot, and please report this to GoFundMe directly and make a public Facebook post explaining what she's doing. Send her a screenshot as soon as you hit the post button. Tell her it will remain up and public until she cancels the GoFundMe and returns those poor people's money. My crazy aunt faked to fall in a Target restroom after asking a teenage employee for help getting into the stall, pretending to be disabled. She tried to sue, lost, then made a GoFundMe and received over $3,500 before we found out about it. There are parents who have children in the hospital fighting cancer, going through chemo and terrible surgeries that may see something like that and donate to her. As someone who lost their mother to metastatic breast cancer, screw your sister. You don't get to play cancer patient. Cancer isn't something to parade around, it's a horrible disease filled with meds that make you sick, long bouts of fatigue, and a hope you can live long enough to crank out those couple of big milestones before the treatments lose efficacy and you die. Yeah, you would not be the idiot at all. In fact, not telling people and letting her use their emotions and sympathy for nothing but monetary gain would make you more of an idiot. I'll start by saying we've been together for 3 years. We have a great relationship and he's a wonderful father to our child. The proposal really came out of nowhere. I was in the bathroom getting ready to take our little one to daycare, which we were already running late for. My boyfriend walked in behind me and held a ring up in his hand and just said, "Would you marry me?" I honestly thought it was a joke and the ring was simply a gift. I laughed, said yes, put the ring on and left. When I got home and spoke to my boyfriend, I realized he actually did ask me to marry him. I would have said yes either way, if it was a joke or not, but I was just left feeling a bit disappointed and empty, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of the ring either. It's big and chunky and uncomfortable to wear. It was meant to be sapphire to match my birthstone, he said, but he accidentally got the wrong color. It's not my style, and it doesn't suit me whatsoever. We've never looked at engagement rings together, so he wouldn't know what I like. I mentioned this to him and asked if he would mind if I bought a smaller ring with my own money to wear instead, but he got quite offended by that and called me ungrateful. He's been moody ever since. May I add that the ring he bought wasn't expensive, so it's not like he'd be wasting lots of money if I didn't wear it. Price doesn't matter to me. I wasn't expecting a grand gesture or huge proposal, but a little effort would have been nice, not just asking me in the damn bathroom. It's meant to be a special moment and memory, and it's just not. Am I the idiot for being upset over this? Not the idiot. The simple fact that you didn't even know it was a serious proposal is problematic to me. Sure, a proposal doesn't have to be a big grand gesture, but when you're so busy getting your child ready that you didn't even have a moment to think. And now he's moody because you're not beaming with joy at his half-idiot spur-of-the-moment proposal with a ring that's not even close to something you would like. You're right, a little effort would have been nice. A little thought, showing that he actually cared, would have been nice. I'm betting if you really give it some thought, this isn't the only time you've felt like he doesn't really care or put any effort in. Not the idiot. I don't understand the comment saying you should be grateful. Grateful about what? that someone wants to marry you. Everyone should have standards in a relationship, and that includes a standard for your partner considering your feelings. It sounds like he didn't put any thought into the ring or proposal at all, and I get why that hurts. Well, I don't think he intended to hurt your feelings. He definitely should have given this more thought. It's an opportunity to show your partner what they mean to you. You're never the idiot for feeling how you feel. I'm going no idiots here. Granted, boyfriend failed at romance and at picking out jewelry, but that doesn't make him the idiot. Just like being disappointed doesn't make you the idiot. I don't like that you mentioned this to him. If you are upset, you should have a discussion, not a mention. I suggest watching some videos about conflict and disagreement in relationships so you both can handle this like adults with minimal emotional pain. I am going to die soon. Well, I made peace with that fact. There is nothing anyone can do. I don't have many friends. Only thing I like to do is gaming and reading, so I just want to spend whatever time I have doing things I enjoy. My parents are devastated, but they always maintain a happy face in front of me. My aunt is not happy with this fact. I don't know where she reads things, but she is suggesting to me and to my parents to do various things before I die, like 1. Family trip, including her family, to a foreign country to make happy memories. The thing is, it will be paid by my parents and I don't want them to spend their hard-earned money on it. We are not that rich, and how on earth any parent make a happy memory when they know their kid is going to die? 2. Writing a letter to 40+, all extended, family member. I don't want to spend my time writing a letter to relatives I didn't even meet yet. 3. Spend time with my friends, karting, baseball, etc. When I told her I don't have any friends, she suggested me to go with her son's friend. I don't want to do that too. She was really angry when I rejected her every proposal and rambled about I am dying without enjoying life, etc. For the next part, I think I am kin to the idiot. She was once charged with drunk driving and has a terrible driving record. I told her she should also write a letter to everyone as knowing her driving she could die before me. She was livid and left quickly. My mother told me I am the idiot. I should have simply refused her help. Am I the idiot? Somewhere between no idiots here and everyone's the idiot here. No one was a complete idiot, but no one was completely innocent either. Just because you're dying soon doesn't mean she should impose her image of living a good life on you and should understand that everyone wants different in life. It isn't up to her what you find fulfilling. But at the end of the day, she was looking out for your good, but went about it not that well. I get that you're trying to throw her argument back at her and make her see how nonsensical she seemed, but you did kindle loot her death based on and exploiting one single, little, thing that she may not be proud of. No idiots here. I was between this and everyone's the idiot here. I had to consider that this is a very emotional time for both you and your aunt. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I wish you as much peace and happiness as you can get in your time left. By the way, I do think your aunt had some great suggestions, but if they aren't going to make you happy, then do what will. Sure, there was a part of her suggestions that were selfish, but overall, I think she meant well. Your response was overly harsh, but again, a lot going on with you. Therefore, I rule no idiots here. No idiots here. In a roundabout way, I think your aunt was just trying to express that she cares about you and wants what she perceives to be best for you. People dealing with grief often come across as a bit crazy in their attempts to make peace with the circumstances. There's hardly a manual for this type of situation. She's probably hurt because she thinks she was just trying to help, but of course it is your choice how you choose to spend your remaining time. You aren't obligated to spend that time trying to make other people happy when the situation is happening to you.